Kia ora. So, of course, we're back to these, kind of warring factions, or at least, hopefully, sometimes politely debating factions when it comes to Delphi murders beliefs. And right now, of course, we've got this 136-page filing by Richard Allen's defense team, which has got a lot of people all aflutter. It's upset a lot of people because some weren't aware of the graphic nature of what the girls went through. I mean, they were murdered, so it was going to be gruesome. Or how the crime scene was staged. You could look up a thesis paper by a forensic criminologist here in Brisbane. She wrote it for Bond University to get her PhD. It's by Dr. Ferguson. It's called The Defects of the Situation. It describes in detail and an up-to-date research, real study of staged crime scenes, the statistics pertaining to them. It talks about posed versus staged, who stages these types of crimes and why, etc. It's very interesting, and I think a lot of people are still struggling with thinking that this crime scene is a posed crime scene. So you might remember I made a video quite a long time ago now talking about the defects of the situation and staged versus posed. I don't think I did a very good job. It was maybe a 3 or 4 parter as well. Anyway, it's funny, and I just watched John Kelly Profiler, his video about this filing. I agree with him. File 13, shred it. He talks about the difference between staged and, just hold on a minute, he talks about staged and posed as well. A couple of young ladies walking past, not unlike, Abby and Libby, fresh, youthful, happy to be together and out walking on a glorious day. Yeah. So, look, I just had this thought, so I guess this is a bit of a long just saying because it's going over the requisite 3 minutes that I set for myself, but it appears to me that the true crime community, which, as most of us realize, has of late, in the last 3-4 years, become the true crime arena, it appears that we now are just loading ammunition for defense teams all around, let's just say, America. Okay, so when defense teams don't have to be stumm, they don't have to zip it before trial, they're not trying to keep anything under wraps and secure because, they're not trying to keep purity of witnesses and of disclosings and of, they're not trying to, what I'm trying to say. For someone with a high IQ, I'm extremely stupid most of the time, aren't I? So the defense can say whatever they like, and it seems like they're using the true crime arena conspiracy theorist Village of the Damned, the true one, not Delphi, but the true Village of the Damned here on YouTube. It's as if they're just using their conspiracy theories, assumptions, wild speculations, willfully misleading videos to sway public opinion, to taint a jury pool. I mean, it might be very difficult for a jury to be found for Richard Allen. that isn't unduly tainted by social media and mainstream media. They know the power of what they're saying. Look at the people that get so aflutter immediately. It seems like they're not sitting with this information and really absorbing it and thinking about it. It just seems like they are pucks on that, you know, boom, and off they go, ricochet, 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 you know, while Ricochet Allen goes from one to another. You know, John Kelly reminds us of something that we're all aware of, but maybe don't think about often enough or seriously enough, and that's little Ricky Allen's letter to the judge, the first letter that he released. You know, he was throwing himself on the mercy of the courts, wasn't he? Throwing himself at the mercy of the courts in his putrid, puerile letter. And I say it's those things because Richard Allen doesn't say to the judge, to my family, to the people of my community of Delphi, to the state of Indiana in which I have grown, lived, contributed for 50 years. I am innocent of this crime. I am falsely accused. I need to be able to put forward the defense of my innocence, as is my right. And I'm going to prove this to you, but I can only do this when I have resources, and please can I have whatever, whatever, whatever. Okay? No, he instead gives us, you know, he's more like Sarah Boone, isn't he? So, I mean, this is something to seriously consider. Who does not openly make statements about their innocence? His lawyer did briefly at first once say he was innocent, and now they seem to be reduced to these sort of shenanigans. You know, what will be next, right? What will be next? I mean, as I've said before, I mean, yeah, sure. You know, some cult, some ritualistic group go out and commit a ritualistic murder, and the first thing they want to do is put all their signs out there and let everybody know who done it. Oh my God. I mean, if anything, this is putting a target on Ricochet Allen's head, isn't it? Because if I were an Odinist in Indiana right now, I'd be like, that mofo, look at them blaming us. I mean, that could be one reason why, if it's true, guards are going around wearing badges saying that they are in a group that worships Odin. Is that what they do? Because they're going, look mate, you better watch it. We don't like what you're doing here, tarring us with these accusations. You are not one of us. You are just a sleazy, slimy weasel who would go to an isolated area in the divine town of Delphi, which does have its problems. Crime, drug, etc. Sure, corruption, sure. But this divine town, this gorgeous town, just hanging on to survive. This town is valuable historically to Indiana. All of Indiana should be placing value on Delphi, Carroll County, and helping preserve it. And it seems like there are, I'm getting a bit diverted here, there are, you know, good relationships with other places that do want to help with that purchase of the Connor Prairie Bridge, you know, Freedom Bridge. But, you know, yeah, you know, wouldn't you just be a little bit miffed So this guy, you know, he loves the great outdoors. He likes going to trails. How many times since 2006 has Richard Allen gone to the Monon High Bridge Trail, walked those towpaths, gone out to the bridge, explored the south end, explored Deer Creek, and fantasized? Okay, look, he might well be innocent or just part of a group. Doesn't seem like the person, you know, to have cronies, right, this close. Just, that's my opinion. And he's thought about an opportunistic crime. And he's thought about what a place it would be. The catchment of that bridge, the trap, you know. How many times has he gone out there? People say there was preparation. There'd be fallen branches everywhere. And God knows it's on Ron Logan's property. We're not told, are these saw cuts fresh? Could they have been made with a knife? They're saying some sort of chainsaw device maybe? When did Logan last go and try and clear some wood down? Maybe with changes of season and things. Maybe to stop his horses poking themselves in the eye when they go down there. We haven't got a suitable explanation for that yet. It's not a complete thought, okay? And someone committing this, you know, this fantastical crime, this crime that they've fantasized about for a decade or more. You know, a lot of killers, they've been harboring a desire to murder since, you know, 14 years old, that type of thing, right? And it just eats away at them. And there are all sorts of reasons why people don't commit crimes. And maybe this was just the time that Alan thought, yeah, I can get away with this. And he's had long enough to think about this type of crime. He's had long enough to think about the type of staging he might want to do. Are there books in his home that were taken as evidence that just talk about different groups, different belief systems, like Odinism, like ancient gods and things like that, you know? Or where could he have learned about it? From ex-military friends that are in the group? I just can't see him a joiner of that sort of group. You know, so this Brad Holder business, right? Brad Holder, being Abby's boyfriend's father, he could have heard, just like everyone else, from Erskine, maybe from Erskine or through Anna, via Anna from Erskine, about what Erskine saw at the scene. We've seen the texts about the way the girls were laid, about sticks, about some sort of